Breaking news. Welcome to today's headlines. Nnamdi Kanu still far from freedom as court denies him bail. Nnamdi Kanu still far from freedom as court denies him bail. To my dear listeners, from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. The federal government is set to rearraign to the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, on an amended 6 counts of treasonable felony. The amendment came on a day the trial judge, Justice Nyako, fixed to hear an application Kanu filed to be released on bail, pending the determination of the charge against him. A member of Kanu's legal team, who craved anonymity, says the federal government had, in the amended charge, listed some lawyers representing the embattled IPOB leader, including Mr. Ifeanyi Ejiofor and Maxwell Okpara as accomplices of the defendant. It is gathered that the federal government alleged that the said lawyers were constantly in contact with Kanu after he jumped bail and fled the country. Justice Nyako had, on April 8, struck out 8 of the 15 counts treasonable felony federal government preferred against Kanu. Justice Nyako held that the charges were mere repetitions that did not disclose any offense that could be sustained by the proof of evidence before the court. Scenes from the court showed Kanu, his lawyer Mike Ozekome, and supporters in triumphant celebration over the amendment. Federal government had, in the count that were struck out, purported that Kanu had, through his broadcast, incited members of the public to not only stage a violent revolution, but to attack police officers and also destroy public facilities in Lagos State. Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the prescribed group, IPOB, and his lawyer, Mike Ozekome, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, and Maxwell Okpara at the Federal High Court, Abuja. The court, Abuja, also refused to admit Kanu to bail. Justice Nyako, in a ruling, held that since Kanu was earlier granted bail in 2017 and jumped the bail, the court must first determine the real reason he jumped the bail before applying for another one. The court had, on April 8, exonerated the federal government on the allegation that the leader of the IPOB was forcefully abducted abroad to stand his trial. Nyako, in a ruling, held that rendition for the purpose of criminal investigation is allowed. Nyako said since Kanu was on a bench warrant, the law allowed that anywhere he is cited, he can be arrested and be brought to face his trial. Rendition for the purpose of criminal investigation is allowed. In the instant case, there is a bench warrant on the defendant, Kanu. Suffice to say, he is a fugitive before the court, she said. The judge, who dismissed Kanu's move to challenge the terrorism charge, upheld 7 counts in the fresh charge filed by the federal government against the IPOB leader. Nyako said that the federal government, through the office of the Attorney General of the Federation, had been able to establish some allegations against Kanu in counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 15. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 15 show some allegations. The court shall proceed to try the defendant, Kanu, on those counts, she ruled. After the review of the 15 counts, she held that about 8 of the counts appeared to be similar and did not disclose action. She therefore ordered that count 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 should be struck out. Nyako also ruled that the order prescribing IPOB as a terror group still subsisted until it was vacated, since the issue was still on appeal. She dismissed the argument of Chief Mike Ozekome's son, counsel for Kanu, that whether IPOB was a terrorist organization under the Nigerian law or not was still a subject of an appeal. As of time of filing this report, the hearing in the matter is still ongoing. The federal government is set to rearraign the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, on an amended 6th count of treasonable felony. The amendment came on a day the trial judge, Justice Bintan Nyako, fixed to hear an application Kanu filed to be released on bail, pending the determination of the charge against him. To my dear listeners, from wherever you're listening from, now I've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by at the comment section and let us know what your view